Hello, my amazing artists. How are you today? Ready to create. We are going to create a Larry today. And Larry is going to help us go over the Larry the Lion song to help us with our artwork. So we are going to be creating a spiral Larry. How cool! But let's get Larry to show us the Larry the Lion song so we can remember. Are you ready? I'm ready. Larry the Lion is a friend of mine. He can make any line for me. Boo! Vertical. Boo! Horizontal. Boo! Diagonal. As he curves, he can zigzag with the twist and a turn. And when he's out of his wavy tangle, he makes a great angle. Any line he can make. After all, he's a snake. So we are going to make our own Larrys together using Larry the Lion's examples. Have fun! This week we are going to create a Larry the Lion. And I am going to add different patterns to him and cut him out. You also have the option of pasting him to the enrichment activity that we created this week to have a nice background, unless you want to keep him as a spiral. I'm going to start with a piece of paper. You can use paper or a sketchbook for this lesson. I'm going to practice making a spiral with my finger, starting in the center and then growing out. I will use a Sharpie. I suggest you use a pencil first so you can erase your mistakes. Start with a dot in the center of the paper and spiral, growing your line towards the edges of the paper. When I am done, I can either turn this into a snail or make a head for a snake with a curved line. If I draw the letter Y at the end of the curved line, it looks like a tongue, and I can add some eyes as well. I'm going to create a curved line for different sections of my snake's skin. And when I make that line, it looks like it's curved, which gives it the illusion that it is popping off the page. I will continue making these lines all the way to the end of the snake's tail. I'm going to end the tail at a point if it is a snake. If it is a snail, you can leave it the way it looked. Now that I am done, I am going to create patterns in every section. So think about the lines and shapes that you can use. Patterns repeat. So I'm going to start by the head, and I'm going to start with a zigzag line. I will repeat that zigzag line again. Next, I'm going to make a curvy line, and I repeat those wavy curvy lines in that section. I have straight lines, and loopy lines. I can even make lines that crisscross. When I run out of line ideas, I can add different shapes. Make sure that your shapes repeat because we are making patterns. I'm going to continue this until I am done with all of the sections of Larry's body. Now I am going to get my markers and color in Larry. I am going to use pattern with my color as well. When I color in an area, I make sure that I stick to about 3 colors, 2 or 3, and I make a pattern with my color as well. I will make sure that I am coloring in the lines to the best of my ability and using good craftsmanship, which means I am working to the best of my ability. Continue coloring until you have colored all of Larry's patterns. Now that Larry is completed, I can either leave him like this or I can cut him out using a scissor and making sure that I have some supervision while I am cutting. I am going to cut around Larry and I am going to make sure I stay on the line. I don't want to cut out any of my beautiful artwork I created. So the tricky part is when I get to the end of Larry's here, I am going to cut past his head and onto his body line. Be very careful and make sure you turn the page as you cut. Again, this is not required, but it looks really cool when he's done. Make sure you keep your fingers away from your scissor and turn the paper as you cut. My scissor doesn't really move at all. Now I'm going to cut off that last white space because I don't want it in my artwork. Now be very careful because Larry's a little spiral, so let's make sure we put it back to a spiral, and I'm going to cut off the rest of the paper. You can leave Larry like this, or you can put him on the beautiful background. That was a part of the enrichment activity this week with printing with aluminum foil. And I can keep him a spiral too if I want to, and I could use him like that as a piece of artwork, or flip him over and we're going to create dots with glue on the back of Larry so we can glue him to our background. Larry can be glued to any background that you want. I'm going to carefully flip him over. And I can either glue him flat or I can kind of make him stick up a little bit to make him a paper sculpture. So maybe he's slithering off of the page. That is up to you and what you want to do for your artwork. Please do not forget to take a picture of your artwork and send it to me either through email or on Focus or on Teams. I cannot wait to see the Larrys that you create. Have fun!